All righty, if we can have everybody go ahead and make your way to your seats, and we're going to get this party started, all right? I said we're about to get this party started. Okay, I feed off of you, so the louder you cheer, the faster I go, and the more fun we have. So we're very excited to have all of you here. This is our fifth annual Night of Dreams Gala, and actually from last year we broke the record from last year's attendance. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of that. And as everybody's coming in, I want to thank you to a bunch of special people that make this night happen, and one of the main ones is my wife Esther. If you could stand up. She's my rock and my sounding board, whether she likes it or not, and so she is one of those main foundational piece in my life that helps keep everything going and helps keep me on track when that doesn't happen, and that's often. So number one, definitely want to thank the main people that make this event possible, and that is Bray Auctions. We want to say thank you to Bray Auctions, Sound and Church, that is doing all the audio, video, and the recording and everything. And they are absolutely amazing. And they have also been intricate in some of our newest films and the testimonial videos. The one that you will see at the end of the night is our newest one, and it is a tearjerker. We did not spray the person in the video with water so that it was constantly running. That was real tears, and it's the best video we've had yet. So I'm excited for that to come later. And then also a big shout out to CM Solutions is incredible. They cover all of the IT and all of the media needs. And also is my IT and media that help the Dream Center programs go every single day. And so very, very huge shout out to CM Solutions for always picking that up. We had a rescue table sponsor, United Healthcare. Where are you at? Right up here in the front. Thank you guys so much for coming. And also being a part of when you guys are able to with the programs. And we appreciate you so much. And then also our Reach Table sponsors from Brahms Table, right there. And then Noble Assembly of God, right there. Thank you guys. And then we had one Table of Hope sponsor. They weren't able to be here, but they sponsored a table, and they sponsored the head table, and that was Go Farms. So thank you so much for sponsoring that table. And we're so honored for each and every one of you to be with us tonight as we celebrate our mission and the programs of the Dream Center and our impact on the lives of Oklahomans in helping make dreams come true. And one more thing, I want to say thank you to our board members. If you are our board member, wherever you guys are at, if you could just stand up right now. They have, especially through the past year, we went through a transition, and they have been nothing but rocks for us and encouragers as we've gone forward and just literally continued to grow through that transition period from last year, and we are building on that and going forward. So thank you guys so much, and yeah. Let's get started. Who's hungry? All right. Okay. I'm going to pray a blessing over the food, and then we will get started and have them start coming in and serving. Lord, we thank you for this night, and we thank you for the opportunities that you afford us to be honored enough to be asked to participate in advancing hope and unleashing opportunity into people's lives, and to come lock arms with people that don't know how to even make a dream come true themselves, and they think it's completely impossible, but yet with somebody, with maybe one or two or three people with them saying, you can do this and we can do it together, there is huge impact and change that happens in the world. And we're so honored to be a part of that, whether that's by volunteering time, whether that's by helping fund certain programs or whatever it is. But yet it's the opportunities that you give to us because you trust us to be an intricate part, to push hope forward and make dreams come true. And we just ask that you bless each and every bite of food tonight to the nourishment of our bodies. And we give you the praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So at the Oklahoma City Dream Center, our mission every single day, every single moment we're awake is to reach and to rescue and to restore people that are isolated by poverty, no matter what that looks like. Some of you might have noticed the banners that are on either side. They are a great representation of what the people are going through right now, currently, and any given day that they are struggling, and the things that they struggle through just to make it through one single day in their life. And whether that's trying to figure out how to make the best grocery list possible that they can actually afford, or maybe that's figuring out how to get their kids what they need for the school year. Maybe that's figuring out the schedule of the bus systems and everything else they have to do in order to get every single thing that they need to be done today in one single day, and actually get it done through all the systems that are made available by organizations or the city. And it ain't easy. You have to be disciplined, you have to be planned out, and you cannot miss one appointment. And there are people that do it every single day. So imagine what it is like to feel helpless, to be isolated by poverty in a situation. Poverty is nothing but lacking the needed resources in order to make a desired outcome possible. And I know many of us many of you, it would be arrogant to think that many of you don't have a situation that you've gone through when you had to have the help of somebody else, or you've been in a dire situation. So imagine what that's like, or remember what that's like, to try to know that the resources are out there somewhere, but you don't know how to take hold of those available resources. You don't think you have a way to break the cycle of poverty in your life or your family's life. Even if you want to break it, you just may not know how. Our objective is to connect and mentor individuals one-on-one and meet with them where they're at and help them be productive in making those desired outcomes possible, and help turn their lives around and be members of society that chase and achieve their dreams. For 9 years, we have based every program simply off of an idea of find a need and fill it. That's why when we say, can somebody ask, can you help us with that? We say, yes, we can. We can either help you right now and directly with the things that we have right now, or we can connect you to a place that we partner with that they can help you, and we can help you get there. It's just to make an impact in your world and other people's world is as easy as saying, let me find a need and fill it, or find a hurt and heal it. And what you look for, you will find. We achieve our mission by 5 main methods. Our preventative programs for at-risk kids and youth include our after-school program and mentoring, our Warriors Wrestling program, and our summer program and day camps, all of those of which are free. We meet basic needs through our food pantry and our clothing closet. Hundreds of people get impacted each and every week through those free programs and what we open up, and also our seasonal drives, whether that's coats, whether that's Christmas toys, whether it's school supplies, all of that. And then also we have a community resource center where we've got a computer lab for people to come in and search for jobs and work on building a resume, and even connect with people that can help them do that. And then also volunteers also assist people in applying for employment, housing subsidies, scholarships, other resources, such as even we've had a couple of volunteers that started this year and helped people actually learn how to manage their finances and do their taxes that hadn't been done in like 3 years. Because it's crazy how much you talk yourself out of what you can do, but when you have somebody going, hey man, we can do this together. This is not hard. Let's just sit down and do it. You'd be amazed at what can be accomplished when 2 or 3 are gathered together and make it a point to do it together. And that's happening every single week. And then also, we offer opportunities with other organizations or other individuals to come and teach adult education classes in a broad spectrum. And then also our main program that you're going to hear a lot of tonight, other than the kids, and also and I'm saying and also, I'm sorry, but you will see thank you notes that our kids have written from our program. They wrote those individually for each table. And so you've got a little thank you note from each one of our program kids that do come to our programs Monday through Thursday and throughout the summer. And so they wanted to definitely say thank you. But our fourth method that we reach, rescue, and restore is our DC Living Men's Transitional Living Program. This program was birthed out of our partnership with Teen Challenge, adult and teen challenge that were housed on our property for several years. And that's a 13-month program, and after they complete 13 months, they're told, here's your diploma, you completed the program, you're ready to go out on your own. As we developed relationships with many of the men that were going through that program, we started to have overhanging relationships with them afterwards. And who knows that life doesn't just hit you once. It hits you several times in several different ways. And just because you rebounded doesn't mean that life's not going to throw you another curveball. And so we would constantly get calls from guys basically going, man, I need to get away from my family or friends. I can't go back, and I'm getting right back into the stuff I left, and I need somewhere to go. Out of that need, we birthed Dream Center Living. Dream Center Living is that intermediate next level step from being, if you're coming out of prison or a rehab program, and you've been micromanaged for about 13 months, who knows that complete freedom can just totally throw your mind for a loop. Coming out of months of being micromanaged and told what to do. And so Dream Center Living came to offer that next step of like, hey, you don't have to go home, you don't have to necessarily go straight out and just be on your own, but you can live on property, and you can go through however many months you need, like maybe a couple of years. And basically get back on your feet, get structured again, and we'll help you. And we do random drug checks during the week. And then also we have all of our resources are open to them, and they're able to make a successful transition back into society without basically just being thrown out on the porch and basically saying, okay, you're good to go. Hope you have a good life. And so that is the fourth method. And someday, if I'm able to be a little bit transparent with you, someday soon, I want to open up a women's facility too, because I know that women are struggling with just the same stuff as men do, especially here in Oklahoma and the central U.S. here, and I want to do that too. So that's just a little bit. Someday we're gonna open up a DC living for women. Amen. That's good. Anyways, so number 5, number 5, we love to partner with other organizations, and a lot of those organizations are represented by you tonight. We love because we know that partnering with other organizations helps make our net bigger and make our impact bigger by working together. And if we can't answer a need, knowing that we're working with an organization, that we can connect them. If we can't meet it, we can connect them with our partner that can meet that need also, and we can actually get them connected and do that way. So that's the 5 ways. But all these things are driven by 5 values, 5 core values that we have. Number 1, we are faith dependent. And if you've known me for any length of time, I'm a bet the farm kind of guy. I'll swing for the fences every single time because I want to at least know that I tried. We're big dreams, active faith, and taking risks. Number 2, we find a need and fill it, and find a hurt and heal it. It's about continuous compassion and injecting life and hope in every situation. Number 3, we honor and respect all people all the time. It's about valuing people and each other to glory God. We believe in empowering God-given dreams. It's about empowering people to reach those goals, those purposes, and those things that have been instilled in them since their very first breath. And number 5, we are relationally driven. It's about meeting the tangible to meet the intangible. We know that the government has programs to just throw money at people and think that they're gonna solve all the problems by just throwing money or giving them free housing or whatever. We know that relationally, if you can teach a person to fish, they will never grow hungry ever again. And that's what we do every single day. We don't just, and even through the food distributions or any of the stuff we do, we just don't answer a basic need, an immediate need, and say you're good to go. We get to know you, and then we want to know more about how we can help you in the next step. And so we always go the next step. We exist to help people dream big and make impossible dreams realities. And right now, we have a video of one of the guys that actually went and graduated through our program. His name is Richard, and if you will turn your eyes to the screens right now, you're going to hear his story.
My name is Richard Pruden. I'm a resident at the Dream Center. I was involved in a criminal enterprise, and financial crimes, and I spent 26 years in the federal prison. I am not comfortable around people. About 10 years of the prison was in a box, so I'm not used to people. I've been on the edge of life for a long time, where I kind of want to die, to get it over with. But I don't want to hurt other people, so I don't know how to live. I don't know how. I don't know. Other people don't make sense to me. I don't understand them, not like regular people. I understand the environment I was in. I was in for 26 years, and it was bad. I'm different, gay, and that always makes it outsider anyways. And I had to fight, I had to kill. About 2 years ago, they let me go, and I had a couple different jobs, and the last job I had, I couldn't do it anymore, and I was drinking heavily, drinking a lot, and so I went to the counselor, Miss Lewis at Cornerstone, and she recommended to come here and So I came over, and I've been here going on 2 months. You know, for a couple of weeks, I was kind of out of it, you know, because I have mental problems, you know, PTSD and anxiety and all that. And I don't know how to use the phone and computer. It's all very confusing to me. But I know how to cook and clean and tidy things up. I like things clean. And so we all have chores to do. And the kitchen is something I can do because I don't leave. You know, I seldom leave the place. You know, just go to the store and that's it. You know, the men provide for themselves, you know, some things, but there's a lot of commodities and whatnot. And I kind of took the kitchen because they weren't cleaning it good, so I do it. And I'm going to school. I've signed up for community college, and then I'm looking for employment to work from home. So I don't have to be around people. I can work on computers, so that's my goal. And some of the men here really need it bad, and they appreciate it a lot. I'm one of the men who really appreciate when people are accept me. You know, I'm not, fortunately not destitute, but the friendship and fellowship and the support for other people, you know, yeah, I appreciate it.
When I hear lots of silverware on plates, it makes me believe that everybody's having a really good time. Is that what I can believe tonight? Absolutely. Guys, my name is Barrett Bray. I'm with Bray Auctions. I am so honored to be here. We were here last year as well, and I've been a part of the Dream Center for at least the last 5 to 10 years. Robert Burke was a mentor of mine. Chase has been a friend of mine for over a decade. And it is a great honor to be here with all of you. We're going to have a chance to raise some money for the Dream Center tonight, later in the program. But tonight, I want to just say thank you so very much for being here with us at the top of Oklahoma City after we have been cooped up for way too long overall, and we are looking forward to the future of Oklahoma City, the future of the Dream Center, and the future of all of our hopes, aspirations, dreams, and prayers moving forward. So thank you for being here. Let's give each and every person here a big round of applause for being here and being a part of the Oklahoma City Dream Center. Thank you so very much. We've got another video that we would like to play right now. This is one of our volunteers that makes their way through the Dream Center. I'd love to introduce him to you right now, and I'll do that right here through the video. Please take a look at the screens as you continue to enjoy your meals, and thank you again for being here. We're so happy to have you here.
Hi, I'm Marty Platt. I had a pituitary tumor surgery removed not too long ago. The Dream Center helped me and my family with our Christmas. My husband, who has never had unemployment, had to file for unemployment, which was a big pay cut. We have 5 daughters, ages 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, or 6, sorry. I'm not able to work due to my health. I reached out to y'all. I have never been to this church, and I think it was a resource or one of the Head Start ladies at my daughter's school that told me about y'all. And I was just grasping at straws. And when the lady messaged me back saying that they will find a way, I cannot even begin to explain to you what it meant to me, because it's not just a Christmas gift. It was something to get their minds off of the fact that their mother is going under the knife. You know, it's going to be gone. And I'm not just going to be gone for a day. I was going to be gone for a couple days. It was huge. You know, and me and my husband, we are all our daughters have. We have no family. My sister was battling COVID. She lost it 3 days ago. So, I mean, and they're still playing with those gifts today. So to the people that have helped y'all guys, I am internally grateful, and it's encouraged me to help more. Because you didn't even know my name. You didn't even know who I was 3 months ago, you know? Giving brings us together, it really does, and it makes you feel good.
So yeah, that was Marty, and we still regularly get to see them and their precious kids in our programs from time to time, even now, and they are a great family, but they were one of those that just needed somebody to come alongside and not necessarily make them feel awkward about sharing about a need that they had, but just saying, you know what, that's not a problem. We can take care of that for you, and we did, and we got to bless them, and those are the best days that I and the team we get to have. So let's talk about dreams. Throughout history, dreams have played a crucial role. We live in a world that is formulated by people's dreams. The Wright brothers dreamed, and we had and have aviation. Alexander Graham Bell, he dreamed, and we have communication. Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed, and we have a social change that took place in America. Anytime God is going to bless the world, it does not start on the outside. It starts on the inside of somebody's heart that has the seed of a dream planted. If they believe in the dream God has put in them and believe they can get it done, it is amazing what God can do. If I can use a Bible story real quick. In Acts 26:19, the Apostle Paul said, in spite of the hardships, in spite of the trouble and the adversity, I was not disobedient to the heavenly vision. The vision God gave Paul did 4 things for him and I'm going to share those 4 things with you tonight. When you get a vision, a dream for your life, it will absolutely do these 4 things for you. 1, it will stop you. First of all, on the road to Damascus, the vision stopped him. It stopped Paul. You know the story. In the middle of the day, he's riding his horse, and the Son of God appeared and literally knocked him off his horse. Suddenly, he was stopped. Something will happen to you when you find God's purpose and God's perfect will for you. It will stop you in your tracks. You may totally be happy doing what you are doing, and then all of a sudden, bam! It just hits you and everything's changed. Number 2, it can send you. Not only did it stop him from what he was doing, but the vision sent him on. When you get a real vision from God about your life, it will send you to other people. There is a difference between a vision and ambition. Listen to this. Vision comes from God and it will help people. Ambition comes from your flesh and it will help you to use people. Ambition comes from your flesh. A lot of people try to legitimize ambition for vision, but there is a big difference. Vision is when God gives it, and it's about helping others. So a dream not only stopped Paul, but it sent him. When God promotes you, his vision is not so you can say, look at me, but it is so you can use your influence to touch others. Number 3, it can strengthen you. The vision strengthened Paul. When adversity and setbacks come, a real vision and dream will strengthen you. And you have the strength to get back up and keep on going. I'm telling you, I have not talked to anybody who has done anything of significance in this world that did not hit times where they had to plow through all kinds of stuff. It just goes with the territory. Trouble is not an indication that nothing is happening. In fact, trouble is an indication that the dream is for real. It will strengthen you. It puts strength in you to press on in spite of everything. And number 4, a dream will stretch you. Next, the vision stretched Paul. The vision helped him become what he would have never become without it. The journey is more important than the destination. Let me repeat that. The journey is so much more important than the destination. Really, do you want to know what praise is? You don't just praise God because you feel good right now. But a real anointed praise is when you remember what you've come through. You say, I've made it. We are supposed to be the people who walk through life and enjoy succeeding, overcoming the world, overcoming real issues, happy and blessed, but not because it was comfortable and easy, but because we didn't have to go through it alone. And we didn't have to go through it alone, but we also went through it with a person that said, we're going to the other side. Does that mean you don't have struggles and you won't have setbacks? Absolutely not. But we were born for adversity. We run into the fires of hell and stage daring rescues. Persecution and not being understood are all part of the deal. But we are also born to endure and persevere, to be the head and not the tail, and above and not below. So dream that dream. Build the life you want to live. It is never too late. But most importantly, build the life that God has purposed you to live. Go for it. And if you fall, get back up. And if you fail forward and give it a go again. There is a difference between a dream and dreamers. A dreamer is a person who talks a lot, but who does little. Most people are wheelbarrow people. Anybody remember what a wheelbarrow is? They're the people that only go as far as they're pushed. But don't be a wheelbarrow person. A person of real faith sees the dream and takes action. And can I tell you, God will never waste your pain. God does not waste your pain. Pastor T.D. Jakes once said, when you're born, you're like a key with no cuts in it. As you go through life, each wound, each failure, each hurt cuts into the strip of metal. And one day, there's a clear click, and your pain has formed the key that slips into the lock and opens your future and purpose. We live in the most affluent country the world has ever known, but we don't have to look far, even in our own country, even in our own streets, in our own backyards, to see lost and hopelessness eating at people and trying to take the life right out of them and destroying their hopes and dreams. Some live in poverty, but even more suffer a bankrupt heart from the ravages of addiction, of divorce, of abuse, of abandonment. Single mothers and even lonely elders need a smile and a helping hand. Whether big or small, we've all experienced a setback or two. And sometimes when we're down, we need the most. What we need the most is not more armchair critic advice, amen? But someone who will stand alongside us, grab our hand, and walk it out beside us, no matter what is keeping people from their dreams. Many people come to the Dream Center on any given day. If they're lost in pain, we're there to steady them. If they're worn out and they're exhausted by what life has thrown at them, we are there to inject hope and renew them. If they're afraid to even try to push through the circumstances that they're facing, we're there to strengthen them with encouragement. If they're lost and they don't know what to do, we're there to guide them. If they're ready to give up, and there's been many, we're there to restore hope. and say, we can do this together. What is your dream? Stuart, if you can throw up, there's a kid on these pictures. He's a dorky kid. He had blonde hair. When he grew up, he lost it all. This kid had an experience. Probably around this age. My memory's really foggy, but he had an experience with, he was raised a country boy, and also even in the rural town he was raised in, he had his experiences with pools. He loved pools. When it was hot, he loved the water. One day his parents worked really hard, and he got to have the experience of going on a cruise with his parents. And he had plans when he heard they had a pool. So this kid, they get on there and they set off, and like first day out, he's like, when we going to the pool? And he was like, Mom and Dad, are we going to the pool yet? And I mean, and I'm already getting backlash from this from my kids. It's like, have you ever been a parent, and once you finally get there, you're just like, can I just rest? We've been driving, we're here. Can I just have a shut-eye moment? Have a timeout? No, let's go to the pool. You promised. That was me. I was like, Mom and Dad, let's go to the pool. So they obliged, and I got my swim trunks on, and I was going out, and we finally hit the deck, and we're going, and I see it, and I get my eyes set on that pool. And I ran. I didn't care what sign was out that said no running. I ran straight for that pool, and imagine, anybody seen Home Alone 2? That was me. They took that part of the movie out of my experience and had Kevin McAllister do it. I'm just telling you. I went out, I jumped in, cannonball, went in. Now visualize this with me. I'm sinking in. And a rural country boy does not close their mouth because he ain't afraid of any chlorine water. So I'm going in, inch by inch, like just sinking in, and the splashes, big cannonball. So all the bubbles and everything's coming in, and I have my mouth open. And there's a moment where my brain doesn't know how to process the taste and the texture of the water that is coming in. This boy had never had an experience with salt water. So his brain is trying to process what is in this water that is going on because it tastes so weird and foreign, and he doesn't have any other experience or any other wisdom than to shoot back up out of it and say, it's poison, it's poison. My parents literally said the cruise director wanted to hire me because they've never seen somebody clear a deck as fast as that little kid. And I don't think they allowed child labor, so I didn't get hired. But I believe that just as that little kid, and I speak to so many people every day, and maybe someday get to have a conversation with you. Who in here believes that they have influence? That's sad. Okay, let me ask that one more time. Who in here believes they have influence? Have you ever told anybody how good a Baconator was and they actually ate one? That's influence. Has anybody ever told anybody about a Top Gun movie coming out and they've already bought their tickets? Yeah, it's influence. I believe that little boy that had the influence of a passionate moment to clear a deck, and maybe even if it was misguided, and he lied to people because he didn't know how to process what was in the water. But now that little boy has grown up, and I get to yell and scream into people's lives and tell them, there's hope. There's hope. Don't give up. And don't be weak, because no matter what life tries to tell you, you're stronger than you think you are. You just don't know it. But the more you go through, and the more weight that you get to push down and push through with, the stronger you're going to come. And yet you have not seen or scratched the surface of the strength that God has put inside to you 100% yet. And that's what we scream to the multitudes every single day through the Dream Center. We scream, there's hope. I want to live my life as an offering that's poured out, with generosity, poured out with purpose. At the end of my life, I don't want to be somebody that sits on his deathbed with the rest of everybody and say, man, I just have a bunch of regrets. I wish I would have. Man, I wish I could have. I should have. I don't want to have any regrets, but I want to say if I could do it all over again, I would dream bigger dreams. And I'd take more risks in order to change more lives. That's who I want to be. On the tables, if you see the boxes, they have a little something in there we wanted to give you to represent what a dream is, and it's a little bottle with one single mustard seed in it. And that's the size that most dreams are. They're really small. But just like a mustard seed will grow into a mustard tree. And it's one of the biggest bush trees, not the big like redwoods or anything like that, but it's one of the biggest bush trees when it comes into full growth. Out of that seed, a large, strong, healthy tree can come from it if it is nurtured, taken care of, and allowed to grow into its purpose. It becomes a beautiful tree that not only benefits itself, but it also benefits others. Every one of you and everyone, no matter the age or the stage you are in, children, adults alike, have a dream. They need to be nurtured, mentored, and given a chance. Josh, do I have our staff ready for the jars? If you didn't know it, the Dream Center is located in the heart of Southwest Oklahoma City in the 73119 zip code. That is the most populated zip code in all of Oklahoma. So we are a mustard seed planted in very, very fertile soil to bring hope to some of the most impoverished population in all of Oklahoma City and in Oklahoma. We have jars that represent the people, the children that are both living in Oklahoma City in the 73119, and then also the lives that we impact through different programs. So I'm going to go ahead because it'll slow us down. Table 1. That's our table. There we go, right there. I was like, where is it? Table 1 represents 12,245 children in the 73119. 33% of the population in our zip code lives below the poverty line. Each bead in that jar represents 100 of those children, in totaling 5,531 children below poverty level. Table number 2 represents the kids in our kids programs. 170 kids so far last year were served. Each bead represents one kid that got to benefit and be a part of our kids programs. Table number 3. 130 kids were sponsored last year through our Christmas childhood sponsorship program. Each bead represents a child that was sponsored. Table number 4. Table number 4. Right there, Eddie, thank you. 900 Christmas gifts were given out through our Christmas block party that saw over 1,000 in attendance last year. Each bead represents 10 gifts given out to kids. Table number 5. Those beads equal 32,479 people, the population of the 73119. Each bead represents 150 individuals. 76% of all adults in our zip code have no higher than a high school education. 42% dropped out of high school before completion. Table number 6. These beads represent the 9,722 households in the 73119. Each bead represents 97 of those households. And the average household holds over 3 individuals. Table number 7 represents how many men in 4 years have gone through the Dream Center Living program. Right back there, our Dean of Men, Josh, is holding it up high as his short arms can go. 91 men have come through our program since the start in 2017. Table number 8. Right there, Miss Lily's holding it up. 6,360 individuals received groceries this last year. That's 120,000 pounds of food that were distributed to families in need. Each bead represents 100 individuals served. Table number 9. Courtney's holding it up. That jar represents 3,500 meals for families that were distributed last year. Each bead represents 50 of those meals. And table number 10. Last year, we saw 14,500 articles of clothing and household goods distributed. Each bead represents 100 items that were handed out. And table 11. 1,170 individuals were served, either way, by our clothing closet. Each bead represents 10 individuals that were served. Table number 12, you have the jar that represents over 700 volunteers helped us accomplish 50,000 volunteer hours that were worked and served through the Dream Center in 2021. Each bead represents 10 volunteers that served. And finally, table number 13. In our zip code, there were 651 911 calls from a nearby apartment complex. Walmart supercenters, hospitals, airports, and then the next that takes the highest amount for the police department is that apartment complex, which is the highest area for the most violent 911 calls in Oklahoma City. Each bead represents 5 911 calls that occur every year. This is real impact, and then this is real need. And this is where real hope gets injected and makes a true difference. And someday, we're going to see that we totally changed a community and a city. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that. And would you please welcome our guest speaker for tonight, Mr. Tommie Harris Jr. Do we Do we have a secondary mic? You want to share one? I mean, we can share one. I'm not. Okay, I got you. So yes, yeah. So if you didn't know anything about Tommie here, he is a former American football defensive tackle who played 8 seasons in the National Football League with one of my favorite teams, the Bears, which right along is the Raiders. I go for the underdogs. Someday, I mean, the Cubs won. I'm believing that my teams are going to win again too. But then he played college football for the best university of Oklahoma.
Boomer!
Sooner!
That's right.
And was recognized as a consensus All-American twice over. And so everything at one point in your life, from where you were raised, and from where your life was going, it was going really well. And then life threw curveballs at you.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, let's move the podium. I don't like that.
Hey, can we give Chase a round of applause, man? For real. And give yourself a round of applause for showing up today, for coming here. You could have been anywhere, but God allowed you to be here. Give yourself a round of applause for making it here today. I thank y'all for coming out here.
So you're just like anybody else that was, life was going as good as could be, with its regular challenges and everything else, and then in a moment, it literally took a left turn, but yet that wasn't even the end of it there. And so share a little bit about how your life was touched by tragedy.
My life was touched by tragedy in, I believe, 2012. I was pretty much the best at everything. I was pretty much the #1 player come out of Texas, the first player to get started as a freshman in University of Oklahoma all 3 years, the first player to ever make $10 million per season in the NFL in my defensive line position. So a lot of stuff was just going my way. I thought everything should be going my way because God blesses me because I go to church and I help people, and nothing should ever happen to me because I'm doing this all because I'm a good guy, and tragedy shouldn't happen to me because I'm doing all the right things. But I had to learn God in a whole nother way. In 2012, my wife came down to Oklahoma City to get a breast reduction surgery. And I was supposed to be meeting up with her after her breast reduction surgery. Or let's go back. I got married to my wife in January 1st, and we were married for 41 days. And she wanted to come down to Oklahoma to have her breast reduction surgery to get ready for our big wedding. So God told me spontaneously my last football game, I didn't know it was going to be my last football game, but I played for one of the sorriest teams in the NFL, so San Diego Chargers. I could not wait to get out of there. But God just began to tell me to marry my wife. Hurry up and you got to marry her. So I said, after this game, let's just get married. So we hurried up and got married January 1st. And as she was coming down to Oklahoma to have a breast reduction surgery, she ended up having a brain aneurysm on the table. And I didn't know anything about this because I just talked to her the night before, and all this was happening while I was in the air telling a man about my family that owned Austin Jet Company. Now, I thought it was peculiar that you own a jet company and you're sitting next to me on American Airlines, but God is peculiar in this way, hindsight. But me and this guy was sitting and talk about all my life and how good everything's going and how my family's moving and God is just blessing. But I'm not knowing while I'm in the air, my wife is fighting for her life. And when I land, the guy said, if you ever need anything, take my business card down, and I'll take care of you whenever. I get to baggage claim. I'm so excited. Me and him depart. We say our byes to one another. And I get to the baggage claim, and the people from the hospital called me and said, hey, Tommie, you need to hurry up and get to Oklahoma. Your wife stopped breathing on the table. So I immediately ran to the counter, and I said, do any of y'all have a flight going to Oklahoma City? And they say, unfortunately, we're done for today. The Holy Spirit, I call it the Holy Spirit. I don't care what y'all say. But the Holy Spirit told me to reach in my pocket, and I reached in my pocket, and it was a card there that said Austin Jets. And I asked this man, I called him way sooner than I ever thought I would. I said, I know we just got off the plane together. I'm gonna need a plane. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I don't know what's going on, but that family I was telling you about, my wife's in trouble. They said she can't breathe and there's no more flights. He said, so where you heading? I said, Killeen, Texas. He said, I have a plane waiting there when you get there. When I got there, I began to talk to God the 45-minute trip there. And just the first part was just praying so much that nothing bad will happen. You know, it's just praying, God, don't let this happen to me. God, it's not. And nobody has time. Who has time for a funeral? You know what I mean? I told God that. Like, I don't got time for this. I'm doing stuff. I don't have time to be delayed. I got stuff to do here, God. So as I'm talking to God, God said, do you trust me? And I'm still trying to get past, do you trust me? I'm like, well, all I know is to pray till the battle's over. So I'm continuing to keep praying. We get to the jet place, and I get to the runway, and I kneel to the ground, and I kiss the ground, and I begin to cry and pray to God, begging to don't let this be what I think it is. And I begin to surrender in that moment and tell God to just let his will be done in my life. And from that flight to Oklahoma City, I was on such a different, I felt like a vulnerable child, I had nothing else but to trust God. And since that situation, well, let's go here. I land in Oklahoma City. They tell me my wife is on the monitor for about, they said has gray matter, but I don't really know what that means. So we're praying for 3 days that God is going to change something, that God is going to move. And I'm watching my wife's face change, but I'm not believing that anything's going on. The doctor comes in and tells me she has gray matter and we're going to harvest her organs. So I'm thinking harvesting her organ means that you're going to feed her because she's going to wake up again. But hours later, I find out over the internet while I'm in the chapel praying in her room's caddy corner for me, that my wife found out, my wife, Tommie Harris, all-pro football player, wife passes away over a brain aneurysm. And I found all of that over the internet while I was praying for her to get better. So at that moment, I had to get up, swallow my pride, and just go in the room and make a decision to pull her off the monitor. But before I pulled her off the monitor, I asked God, I made a vow to God that from this day forward, I'll make sure that everyone's chest that's moving up and down really know the value and what that means to have that. And in every day of my life, I try to go and tell everyone that's breathing to make life count. And life changes at every moment. But my message today is to turn tragedy into triumph. And how you do that, you endure it every day of your life. And that's my message that I go around teaching.
And he just got done even just through COVID, you were going through the process of writing your book and writing your story and developing all that, and it was you. Oh my gosh, like that was, even the process of writing the story down, even with help and everything, that's something that you have to go through and trust God that he's gonna handle your transparency and trust him with your story and it just, his book, I'll tell you what, it cost me 4 highlighters.
That's good.
Like literally, there are pages that are just highlighted. And so, if there's one book that you read this year, let that be one of them. because even what, like almost every chapter, it speaks to an area that we all go through. And so, I mean, even with that started, like, it doesn't just stop there. And then I know, you know, the book isn't just all about tragedy. It's not, I mean, but it's literally coming out of tragedy constantly, time after time and time again, and not staying down.
Yes, sir.
And that's what spoke to me, because of literally what I've gone through in my life when losing my parents and stuff, and like getting that call and a couple times over, and having to pick up and continually push forward and go to those places where you want to quit, but then God says you can quit and I'll still love you, but yet I'm good enough to bring you to a place where you can't carry it on your own. No matter how broad your shoulders are, I want to bring you to a place where you have to rely on me so you can see a measure of grace and mercy that you would never see otherwise.
Yes, sir. Well, Jesus exudes that as he's carrying the cross in Simon of Cyrene. I love the story so much because Jesus shows so much vulnerability. He's helpless. He's endured a night of beatings, and he can't do it. And you think about the God Almighty, the Son of the living God, and he couldn't do it, and he required help.
Yeah.
And God began to show me, Tommie, if Jesus needed help, why don't you?
Yeah.
And that's where I went on a journey of really committing myself to mental health, serving PTSD, turning tragic, walking people through. We always say through counseling, when we're talking to a lot of people that are dealing in trauma, is that it's always easier to go through a haunted house when you bring a friend. You know, so whenever you're going through tough situations, the enemy always tries to attack and make you alone. And what this does, the book Endure is more of a call of action, right? It's telling people, yeah, I know that sucked, that what happened to you, but we got to continue. And God had to show me that there wasn't any bump beds in a casket. My situation, God really just showed me there's no bump bed in the casket. You still have to live, you still have to serve. So I'm here for all those people that came through tragedy to teach them that there's something here that God still requires from your tragedy to be able to turn it into to triumph.
So you eventually found your wife now.
Yes.
And
my fiance.
So your fiance, yes. When is the date?
And
what's the invitation?
we got an invitation coming.
So tell about how you met her, and then literally it didn't stop with your wife. Literally you had to face tragedy on a level that no parent wants to either.
Yeah, so me and my fiance got together probably about 5 years after losing my wife, and then we had a daughter. Her name was Talia, and we come in one day 4 months afterwards. My fiance is a surgeon, and she ran the Decatur Hospital, and it was her first day back in the medical room, and we found out that my daughter, her mother had her, and we found out that my daughter passed the SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. So I had one brain aneurysm, one SID, and I recognized that suddenly things can happen suddenly. And that's the message I got from God there, that sudden things can happen suddenly, sudden change. So to take advantage of every moment, because sudden things can truly happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't even stop there.
No.
You had next.
It sounds like an old country song. Huh?
I know. But I mean, we're gonna get to the country song in a second.
Come on.
Because this boy, he can sing some country gospel, and I told him we're gonna show his music video for the song that came out of all of the pain and all this tragedy and everything. It's a crazy song, but man, this boy right here can sing the perfect mix between Toby Keith and Marvin Sapp, if you know what I'm saying. Like, so good. Like, you would never think, a football player, could just sing. And he did. But, like literally, because, we're building this to land the plane, but, like, what happened next? You had even a nanny.
Yeah, so I had a nanny, My nanny took care of my kids, and my son was 3 and my daughter was 3 months when their mother passed, and I was still playing football. I was going back one more year to play, and I had to find someone to watch to keep my family back intact. I didn't want my mom there all the time because, you know, like we're trying to raise our own family the way we want it. And so I hired a nanny, and I had a nanny for about 5 years, and my nanny died fatally of a head-on car collision, just random out of anywhere. So it was pretty much that God was just showing me that I was trying to hide behind so many people.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
God was really, and then the one that really took the cake was while I was writing the book. My father passed away, but I had a chance to sit with my father for 9 months during COVID, and it was so refreshing to be able to spend time with someone dying.
It's a chance for closure.
It was the first chance I had to say something before I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And that was the message that God really showed me, that my message is really, I'm a living example of showing people, when you see me, go home and hug your partner. Or if you got something wrong with some people, say I'm sorry or apologize, because my dad used to always say, it's not that serious. It ain't that serious. You just full of yourself. I'm telling y'all right now, whatever it is you have, life's way too short. And I mean, every day of your life, your job is to bless others and be the light in the world. And not just the light that shines, but the load that takes off of people, the heavy weight. You lighten it up. So that's all it is.
Let's talk about the people that help. How important is your huddle?
Oh, knowing who's in your huddle is important. And I discovered that because in the book, I talk from cleats on and cleats off, from an athlete perspective, and into the human part of taking off your pads and having to be a dad, having to go home, having a crowd of 80,000 yell, Tommie, Tommie, and then you get home and your wife tells you, you suck at doing dishes. You're like, I don't believe that, because they yell my name in the stadium. So it's just learning how to humanize the celebrity or the whoever, just learning to, I don't care if you're a CEO, if you got billions of dollars. I told a billionaire the other day, he was telling me all the stuff he can do with his money. I said, I bet you can't buy tomorrow. You ain't that rich. You know, we had a good kick out of that, but it's just always keeping things in perspective and being grateful for the little God gives you, that he can bless you with more.
So talk about, we've kind of hit on, I love so much. Like literally I could ask you about how lobsters grow. Yes. Love that. I could ask you the importance of a butterfly coming out of its chrysalis. That was one of my favorite chapters of the book. Yeah. And then the lifeguard, morals versus morale, but literally for the sake of time, yes. And get the book and read it for yourself. It's really good. Andy's got a study guide coming out.
Oh yes. I can't. Just get the book, because we'll be up here all day, because me and him stayed on the phone. I said, we're going to run them out of here if we talk about all those subjects. But yeah, just check out the book. We'll give a little snip. I really love the lifeguard, because the lifeguard was something I had to understand, because after going through tragedy, you become like an oddball out, right? Like, I lost my wife, but I was so cool with so many couples that I lost couples too, because couples didn't want their husband hanging out with a single man anymore. So it's like I was losing a lot of different things around me. Friends didn't want to come around because I was eerie. My story might make them sad if I come in a room or remind them of something. So God began to tell me, like, I would go home sad or crying or felt just left out, like my whole world had changed. And God said, it's okay. He said, they'll understand you. People only stand lifeguards when they're drowning. So the whole story about the lifeguard is to understand that when you go through tragedy, God is preparing you to go save a specific place. Whatever that tragedy is, you're called to go. When you going through your healing process, that tragedy, when you're turning that into triumph, it's your call or duty to go to what you went through. because you don't just go through things, you grow through them. And that's the commitment. I will not just go through, I will commit to grow through. Whatever it is that God puts in my life, I've committed to not just go through, but grow through.
And then let's end on climbing life's mountain.
Oh, pole pole.
Yes.
So pole pole is, I had a chance right after my wife passed. I think this mountain calls you to it. It's a sacred mountain, Kilimanjaro, about 17.5 elevation. It took us 5 days to get up and 3 hours to get down. Just imagine that. Yeah. But it taught me the spirit of acclamation and respecting processes, because each step we took each day, the natives that live in that elevation are able to climb the mountain in 9 hours from top to bottom because they are acclimated.
Yeah.
And on this mountain, they were beginning to say, they said, if you take off running further than what, we really had to heel toe the whole way for 5 days, one step in front of the other. And the guy would yell in Swahili, pole, pole. And I said, what is that? He said, it means slow down. He said, where are you rushing on life's mountain? Enjoy the view. I said, so he would tell us that every day, pole, pole, slow down. So I take everything that I'm able to experience in my real life, and God gives it to me, and I'm able to chew it up and apply it to my life in different ways. So pole pole is something whenever I'm getting into a place of wanting, or I'm trying to be somewhere that I'm not acclimated yet. I truly haven't went through the proper steps to get what I want, but I know what I want, and I'm mad that I'm not getting it, but have I done the proper work to take my time and to do the proper steps to get there? So pole pole is a daily reminder in Swahili to slow down, and sometimes when we get in haste, to just enjoy your breathing and enjoy your family, enjoy your kids. Slow down and look like, oh, my hand worked and it's not broke today, or my leg, my back is hurting so bad today. I'm telling you for real, I strained my back the other day just getting up. I turned 39 yesterday, and I said, Lord, if 39.
Just wait, 40 hits and it's all over.
Lord, I just moved and my back tore. So man, I'm just saying, but I said that about my back is because I've learned that even in pain, to find a way to enjoy it, because in that painful place, while my back is hurting right now, I'm trying not to get it. Everyone's telling me, take medicine, Now, if I can sit with this pain long enough, it'll allow me to respect when it's not hurting. So I already got what I'm gonna do when it stops hurting already in my mind. But the process of poling and slowing down has helped me along my journey.
That's awesome. That was really good for even just the last year that I've had, and it just, God, it spoke to me a lot.
But you acclimated.
Yes.
So if you've been down, you can go right back up. You took the proper step. It's okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So playing from your why, you've done that through all of the things that are near and dear to your heart. Tell us a little bit about the things around the world and stuff that are near and dear to your heart that you change lives with.
Oh well, I don't know what I'm a humanitarian.
Yeah.
So I travel around and I give service to countries that cannot help themselves, but God has really put it on my heart to do what you're doing and to help with the impact of what you're doing, because while I was playing in the league, I never really understood the deficit in the United States, right? You just go off and get opportunities to help outside the country. But when you come back here and you get a chance coming out of football and getting more of my time back after return, I started to see there's so much help needed here. So that's what I've been doing. I'm trying to find ways to get back, finding areas that need service, and that's the only thing that makes sense to me is serving.
And then you are, afterwards, you've got plenty of books and pretty sweet T-shirts afterwards.
Oh, yeah, we got
that. Are you going to be signing some of those?
Yes, sir. I'll be signing for them.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like, hey, him signing the book doesn't make it any better. Highlighters. make his book better after you get it. I'm telling you right now. But Tommie, thank you for not quitting. And thank you for pushing through. And thank you for trusting enough to be completely open with your scars. And like you said in your book, like your dad did, have the courage to wear them as medals.
Yes, sir.
And to tell people about them so that it gives people a chance to hear hope from somebody else that's going, no, I've been through something similar. You can make it.
Yes, sir.
And thank you so much. Would you give?
Hold on, before
Yes.
I want to thank you. I want to thank, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, in the Dream Center, because I know what it takes to serve. There's a lot of nights that people don't see. We look good on these nights, but my father was a pastor. My mother was an evangelist. My house will be full of people that need. There's a need. Yeah. And thank you for not walking past others and allowing God to use you to notice. I got a thing that I always tell my kids is I saw that. Right, and that's when you're walking in your house and you see that piece of paper there that no one's gonna touch. Everyone's saying who's gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I started coming after my wife. A guy just put me in a place where I saw that, and it's watching that. Okay, if I can help with the little stuff while no one else is noticing, and train myself on a daily basis to, I see that person.
Yeah.
I see there's a need there, and be willing to do that uncomfortable thing. Man, I want to tell you, I thank God for having you, bro. For real, and continue. And whatever the Dream Center needs from me, you have my support.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Well, and here's the thing, in 2012, that all started. Did you know in 2012, God called me and asked me if I would step down from my full-time ministry position at a pretty big church, and basically without a plan, without any type of clarity, say, trust me and step out and I'll show you where to go, but it's time for you to chase after the vision that I've given you. And I did that in 2012, and literally here we are here tonight.
Obedience.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome. Would you give Tommie Harris a huge Oklahoma Sooner round of applause?
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you need help?
No, I'm just,
Okay, because I know the next year it's gonna. I'll be there. You call me anytime. You call me anytime you have some aches and pains in any morning. Because 40 is the year that everything starts sounding like Rice Krispie treats in the morning, and I never thought. I laughed at that when I was younger, and I'm not laughing anymore at that. We have one more video, a couple, but this one right now is going to be Haley and Trey's story, and just to let you know that they are two individuals that are very dear. They're a part of my huddle, and become a part of their huddle, even with their mom and the rest of my staff. That is completely the most formidable staff that I could ask for. But if you would just, their stories have been impacted full circle from childhood to where Haley is our programs director now, and her brother is one of the lead coach of our Warriors wrestling program. And here's their story, if we could play that right now.
Hi, my name's Haley Patton.
And I'm Tracy Buckner.
My entire life, my parents used drugs, and my stepfather was abusive to my mom. So my whole childhood was that, like, there was no normal. It was constantly worrying about, like, if my mom's gonna OD, or making sure my brother gets to school safely, you know, or is my dad gonna beat everyone up because he's drunk? Just, that was my childhood. When I was about 7 years old, we were waking up for school. I woke my little brother up to get ready for school, and my mom was asleep on the couch. And I tried to wake her up, and she wouldn't wake up. And so I called my grandma, which I knew my mom was using drugs. And so I call my grandma and I tell her that my mom's not waking up. And my grandma comes over and she can't get her to wake up, and my stepdad comes in. And the only thing that I can remember is him throwing water on her to try to wake her up because she was so high, and slapping her in the face to get her to wake up. And I remember her going, she finally woke up and she went to the bathroom. She was sitting on the toilet and she didn't look alive. Like, it didn't look like my mom. And so, like, no 7-year-old or any age should have to go through that.
We lived in a motel room after I got involved with the wrestling team again. And then
Parents were stolen drugs.
Yeah.
Like, that was probably the worst they were ever, is when they were in that motel.
And then my mom got beat up, and then so we told Miss Candace, and then she took us into foster care, I guess. That's the word.
Yeah, it was like a temporary, like, guardianship.
Yeah.
So they went to go live with her, and they helped my mom and my stepdad get into Teen Challenge. So Teen Challenge is a rehab facility. So they stayed there for a year. They went to Candace's, and she had guardianship over them. And I went to my biological dad's house and lived with him. So if I can help a kid that is going through that by working at the Dream Center, then I will. And that's worth it.
So because of God in the Dream Center, my mom is now five or 6 years sober, and we're doing well and have a good living situation.
Yeah, I think this is the strongest and the best I've ever seen my mom. Growing up, she wasn't mentally there. She was present, but she wasn't mentally there. And now it's amazing to see how, like, God has completely changed her. And, without the Dream Center, my mom probably would be dead right now. If anyone is considering donating to the Dream Center, your money is being well invested. It's going to anywhere from our kids programs to our food pantry to our clothing closet to our Dinner on Us program. It's saving people's lives.
Let's give a big round of applause for Haley and Trey tonight. My goodness. She's right over here to my right. Haley, thank you so much for your testimony and everything. I mean, my goodness, seeing you over the last several years has been an absolute delight, and we're so happy that you're here and that you have been touched by the Dream Center. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start in on our live auction very, very shortly. I think that the first thing that we have is our 50-50 raffle. I'm going to ask for Haley to come on up onto the stage. She's going to bring those up here to us. Anybody that was a part of the 50-50 raffle, if you will go ahead and get your tickets out, we are going to draw that out right now, and we are going to make that, shake. Oh, well, go ahead and pick those up and put them back in there. We don't want to disqualify anybody as we're moving along really quickly and into the program as what we're doing. We got it all? Yeah, that's a better deal. All right, here's what we're going to do. Haley, I'm going to ask you to draw in and put in and pull one ticket out and hand it to me so that I don't have any sort of anything involved in it. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and pull out your tickets for the 50-50 raffle this evening and cheer out loud if this is your number. I've got 267. Who has that? 69. Oh, we can just throw it away then. Nobody has the 69? Anybody have the 69 afterward? There's one. 267, 697, 8. Right there is the winner of our 50-50 raffle. Give her a big round of applause. I am so happy about that. We're going to move into our live auction this evening. Chase, I'm going to give that to you real quick. We got a few, 2, 3 different items that we're going to be selling here at the live auction. Guys, I'm going to say this one more time. My name's Barrett Bray. I'm with Bray Auctions. And the Oklahoma City Dream Center is something that has been very close to my heart, but more importantly, to my past growing up. I've been a part of this ministry, and I've been a part of the people involved in this ministry. Chase and I have been friends for over a decade, and I've kind of been a part of the Dream Center since day one on everything that's been going on with everybody that's been a part of it. We want to make sure that we have an opportunity tonight to raise as much money as possible so that we can continue to see this ministry move forward. So I'm going to ask really quickly, who's been a part of a live auction before? Anybody? Show me your hands. That's great. A lot of people know what's going on. Who has never been a part of a live auction before? Show me your hands. Who's never been a part of a live auction? Okay, 2, 3, 4. Sir, that's exactly how it works.
Got it.
All I need you to do is just keep your hand up, and I'll take care of everything else for you. We're going to have a great time this evening. We got some awesome items, and the Dream Center have got some things together for us tonight. Let's go ahead and move on to our first live auction item. Chase, why don't you tell us what our first item is?
So the first item is a painting. Did anybody see our local famous artist, Zonley, painting that painting right inside as you came in?
Absolutely.
Is there anybody interested in owning and taking that painting home tonight?
Good.
A couple
all three
people.
of you.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Let's get a little
Yeah.
bit more excitement going on this right now. Chase, I'm going to do this real quick.
Yes.
Zonley, you and I have worked together for many years. Man, it is so good to see you. Guys, this is Zonley Lumen of, definitely a famous artist throughout the U.S. and throughout Oklahoma, known for his pop expressionist style. Guys, this guy is a Hall of Fame award winner in Oklahoma, and I am thrilled that you decided to do the cityscape tonight. Zonley, we've sold paintings for you up to $20,000, $30,000 in the past. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why you chose to do the cityscape tonight and what it means to you as it impacts the Dream Center?
For sure. You know, I've got to paint the buffalo for you guys quite a few times now, and so it felt fitting to switch it up. And you know, this is my way to be able to give my light to our community and our people here. And every time I get to be able to pick up that paintbrush and put it on the canvas, it's just a blessing. And no matter what, I got to share that blessing with everyone. So thank you for having me here. And, you know, God bless. Thanks.
Guys, let's give a big round of applause for Zonley Lumen. I'm here right now catching bids. I've got Randy over here. He's going to be in the room catching bids as well. Here it is right here, a Zonley Lumen original painted right before your your very eyes right in the next room. Let's see what we can do tonight for the Oklahoma City Dream Center. Let's see what we can do right now. Who'd start me out at $2,000? And I better do two, but he give a $2,000 bid. And I better do two, but he give $1,000 where? And I better do $1,000. Who give me $500? And I better do five, and he give five, and now $1,000. $500 and now $1,000 where? And I better do five, and he give $7.5. And now $1,000. And now $1,000. Now $12.5. $1,000 now $12.5, and he get $1,250. $1,000 now $12.5, and he get $1,250. And I better do $1,000, $1,250. $1,000, $12.5. Thank you. $15. $12.5, and I want a $1,500 bid. $12.5, and I want $1,500. And I better do $12.5, and he get $1,500. $12.5, and I better do get. You're thinking $1,300. $12.5, and I want $1,300 on the original Zonley Lumen. And now 14, 13, 14, 15. Ready, bidder to 14 and a 115. 14 and a 150 to get $1,500. Where? And I bidder to 40 to get $1,500. 1,400 and now 50 to get $1,500. 1,400, my man. And I bidder to 40 to get $1,500. 15, thank you. 16, 15 and a 1, 16, 17, 16 and a 1, 17, but you get 17, 18, 17 and a 1, $1,800. And now 19, 18, 19 and now 19, but you get $1,900, and I bet it at 18, 19. Sir, make it $2,000, make it an even total. Who give $2,000? And I bet it at $2,000 where? Don't look at her, look at me. I got the better answer. $2,000, and I bet it at 18 and a 1, $1,900. Guys, listen to me right now. I got $1,800 right here. I want both of you to take one of these home tonight. Sir, if we can match another one right now, a Zonley Lumen original, would you give $2,000? And we can sell one to both of you. For everybody in the room, everybody's watching. I got $1,800 here. You'll match it? Anybody else? $1,900. I don't want to leave any amount on the table. 18, 19, and I sold. $1,800 right here. What's your number tonight, sir? 83. 83 is my top bidder, and then my backup is 86. 83 and 86. Zonley, you're okay with selling another one for the same price? Is that all right? Absolutely. Let's give a big round of applause for Zonley Lumen and everything that he does for Oklahoma City. Zonley, we appreciate you. We love you so very much. Thank you very much, and for everything that you're doing in Oklahoma City, for the Dream Center, and for everybody that you do. We appreciate you. Let's give him one more big round of applause as he takes off. Chase, what's our next item that we're selling tonight?
So the next one, it really got my wife excited initially, and that is we have never had a piece of jewelry at this value that was donated for us to date. So Huntington Jewelers was really generous in donating a 3-carat, I was going to get that right, 3-carat diamond bracelet, and it's with 14-karat white gold. It's a diamond-lined bracelet, and the bracelet is set with 55 round diamonds with a weight of 3 carats. And the value of it is $8,000.
Whoa, okay, all right. Let's talk about that just a little bit longer. Do we have the bracelet that we can take a look at overall? Here we have our lovely Vanna White this evening. She's going to make her way. What's that?
She was that last year.
You were Vanna last year? Oh, okay. Well, then we won't require you to do it again. But thank you so much for bringing it up on stage. This is a 3-carat total diamond bracelet. 55 total diamonds. Is that correct?
Yep.
In 14-karat gold.
Yep.
In this bracelet.
Yep.
A value of how much?
$8,000.
$20,000.
Minus 12.
All right, here it is right now. Guys, I'm not going to say anything too serious, but Mother's Day is coming up in just a couple of weeks, and I'm glad my wife is not here. Let's sell this bracelet right now, a 3-carat diamond bracelet, donated a total value of $8,000. Guys, every bit of the sale total of this is going to go straight through to the Oklahoma City Dream Center to see lives changed. Let's see what we can do right now. I want to get everybody involved who'd start me out at $1,000. And I bid it at one, but you give $1,000. We're going to bid it at $500, $1,000, $500 at a $1,000 bid. And now $1,500, $1,000 now $50, but you get $1,500, $1,000 at a $1,500 where? $1,000 at a $1,500, an $8,000 value. $1,000 now $1,500, $1,000 now $50, but you get $1,500, $1,000 now $50, but you get $1,500, and I bid it at $1,000 now $1,500. Ladies, this is where I need you to turn to your husbands and make this face. That's how it works overall. And a bid at a $1,000, but you give a $1,500 bid. And now $2,000. $1,500 at a want two. $1,500 at a want two. 25% of the value. $1,500, $2,000. And I bid at a 50, but you get $2,000. $1,500 at a want two, but you get $2,200. And I bid at a 50, but you get $2,000. $1,500 at a want two. Who gives $1,750? $1,500 at a want 17 and a half. $1,500 at a want 17 and a half on a 30-carat diamond bracelet. $1,750, $2,000, 17 and a half at a one, two, 17 and a half at a one, a two, but you get a $2,000 bid, 17 and a half at a one, $2,000. Who give $1,800, 17 and a half at a one, and $1,800, now 19, 18, now 19, 18, now 19, you're both out, $1,900, and I bet anybody get 18, 1,900, 18, now $1,900, and now 2,000, 1,900 at a one, two, 1,900 at a one, a 2,000, now 21, so now I bet it at two, but you get 21, 2,000, now 21 at a 122, 21 at a 1222, and I bid it at 21, but you get 2,200, 21 at a 122, but you give a $2,200 bid, 21 at a 122, and I bid it at 21. Sir, have you seen Pretty Woman? 21, now 22. $2,200, $2,100 at a 1-2, but you get $2,200 on a 30-carat diamond bracelet. $2,100 at a 1-2. Guys, we're sitting at 25% of value, an $8,000 bracelet right now. You've got the opportunity. I've bid it at $2,200, $2,100 at a 1-2, but you get $2,200. Anybody else in the room? 21 at a 122. 30 carats.
3.
33. Oh, 3 carats?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Total of 3.
Well, sir, look at it right there. Don't change your mind so quickly. Please take a look at it. Yeah. Sir, pray about it. A 3-carat diamond bracelet. $2,200, and I bid it at 21, but you get $2,200. Anybody else? 22, thank you. 23, 24, and I bid it at 23, 24. 23 and a 124, but you get $2,400, and I bid it at 23, but you get 24. Do you want to come up and take a look at it? I'll be happy to have you up here. 23, $2,400, 2,300 at a 124. Anybody else? 23, 2,400, and I sold $2,300. Randy, what's his bidder number? Bidder number 535353. Chase, what's our next item that we're selling tonight?
So our next item is an item that's near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely.
And can I get an amen from the women's corner that if you can't get a piece of jewelry, the next best thing is for your man to take you on a trip?
Amen. I'll let anybody take me on a trip.
I mean, is that an amen? Okay. So do we have the video of the Vedanta trip? No.
All right, what do we have up on the screen right here? What's it going to be? Chase, tell us a little bit about it.
So this is a 7-night stay in a Grand Mayan master room at a choice of 3 locations for 2. So those locations are Cabo.
We're talking about Cabo. We're talking about Riviera Maya. We're talking about Cancun. And we're talking about Riviera Maya, Cancun, and Cabo, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Are the 3.
Yeah.
The 3 different locations right here. Guys, you're looking at it right there on the screen. This is a 7-night stay at one of 4 diamond resorts. This is for 2 adults and up to 2 children, if you should so choose. I'll tell you right now, if you choose to take your children with you, I don't understand why you're going on vacation. I love my children, but I like to get away. Guys, this is, let me just have a show of hands really quick. Any fans of Bachelor in Paradise in the room? No shame? Thank you very much. I mean, I'm right there too. The Vedanta Resorts are the exclusive partner of Bachelor in Paradise. That's where you see them staying whenever they are on that television show. Vedanta, Riviera Maya, Cancun, and
Cabo.
Yes. Right here, right now, a 7-night stay for 2 adults and up to 2 children. What a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. What are you going to give on this right here? And I'm bidding it at $2,000. $2,000. And I bid it at $1,000. Thank you. Now 2. $1,002. Now $3,000. And I bid it at $225. $2,000 at $125. 3, Randy. And I bid it at $25 at $1,300. And now $3,500. $3,000. Now $35. And I bid it at $3,500. $35. 4, Randy. And I bid it at $35 at $1,400. $4,000 and $1,400. $4,000. Now $45. And I bid it at $45. 42 and a half, 45, 42 and a half, 5, 47 and a half, and I bid it at 45 at a month, 47 and a half at a month, $5,000, 47 and a half at a month, 5, and you get 5 at a month, 52.50, 5,000 at a month, 52 and a half. Guys, an entire 7-night stay, 2 adults up to 2 children, 5 and a month, 52 and a half, and I bid it at 5,000 at a month, 52 and a half, and you get 52.50, 5,052 and a half, and I think we might do something a little bit different tonight.
I'm up for that.
Guys, this is a group that I am very, very close with. I have talked with them about the Oklahoma City Dream Center. I've told them about the mission. I've talked with them about the vision. They want to partner with us tonight to raise as much money as possible so that we can continue to see dreams realized in Oklahoma City moving on. I have a $5,000 bid. We're not going to sell it for $5,000 tonight. I had $4,500. We're not going to sell it for $4,500, $4,000, $3,500, $2,500. As many people in the room want to go on a 7-night stay for 2 adults and up to 2 children, we can sell as many as possible tonight for $2,000 to benefit the Oklahoma City Dream Center, to benefit dreams that are coming to fruition in Oklahoma City. Can we get a big round of applause and see what we can turn into tonight? So all that I'm going to ask is for you to raise your hand up at $2,000 for a 7-night stay right now. Raise your hand up and we can sell as many as we want. What's your number, sir? 143 is going to take one. Your number? What's your name? Jonathan Gardner, you just won a 7-night trip. Congratulations very much. All the way in the back, I saw another hand. Any other hands that are going up tonight? We want to sell as many as possible because we want to see dreams coming to fruition and see things changed. Anybody else at $2,000? Right over here. What's your number? 123 is going to take one at $2,000. Let's give him a big round of applause and let's see what we can turn it into tonight. Anybody else at $2,000? Guys, a 7-night stay at a 4-diamond resort on the Mexico coast, on all the beaches. Anybody else at $2,000? This comes with concierge service. You're able to call and book your dates. There are no blackouts for up to 2 years. Anybody else at $2,000? Raise your hand right now. Who else at $2,000? Anybody at all? 3? I heard somebody say that you want to buy 2 of them. That's not unlikely. Well, pray about it. Oh, you were talking about beers. Okay, good deal. Well, we appreciate you. Anybody else at $2,000? Guys, if anybody has any change of hearts, if you would like to be able to jump in on that, we want to sell as many of these as possible for the sake of the Dream Center and for the sake of moving forward. Please give a big round of applause for everybody who participated in the auction tonight.
Yes, Charlie, would you stand up? Charlie Roebuck just recently came and was a participant in our DCL program, and literally is one of the craziest and the best stories that we've been able to capture yet. And this guy doesn't look like, I mean, he looks like a guy that would basically just be the guy that you want in your corner to beat up anybody and everybody you ever had a problem with. But yet, we're going to share his story right now. And at the end, I think the silent auction will end at the video. Yep. At the end of his story, we'll end the silent auction, but Charlie's story, Charlotte, that's been helping basically capture tonight, right there in the center back camera. This is the video that she helped capture Charlie's story. And if you turn your attention to the screens, and Charlie, thank you for letting us tell your story.
I guess my earliest memory of being a kid, my biological father, he was in the Army. And I remember a lot of arguing and fighting, and like he would leave for days at a time for me and my brother to just fend for ourselves. And we lived in Chicago when we was homeless, and we moved from shelter to shelter, I remember, and I always felt alone, and like I had to take care of myself, which I always feel like I kind of have. And it's really hard to think about how I grew up. I always try to tell myself there's other people that had it worse, but we had it pretty bad when I was young. That's why I don't remember a lot of things. The man I call my dad, he adopted me when I was like 15. I've always kind of liked to have a set of rules to go by so I didn't have to wonder what was going on. And he set out all the rules, and I followed them, and me and him have a great relationship. It was really an awesome feeling to feel wanted at the time. I remember that. He taught me how to be proud of myself, that I wasn't just the bad person I thought I was all the time. Sometimes I feel like I let him down because of all the things that I have done. Me being the independent kid that I thought I was 17 years old when I graduated. I went to Wichita Falls to Midwestern State. It was probably a year into it or something, and it was when I started doing drugs. I was at a party one night, and one of the kids asked me if I'd ever done coke before, and I was like, no, I don't even know what it looks like. And he brought some what I thought was coke out, which ended up it being meth, and that's how I got addicted to meth. It always numbed my feeling of unworthiness. It kind of makes you feel like you're on top of the world. You know, nothing can hurt you. And then once you start losing everything you worked for, you don't really feel like that no more. In 2002, I had my first kid. In 2005, I got with another girl, and we had a kid. And then in 2007, me and the same girl had a daughter. And still the same, you know, I'm still just going through the motions. And I'm still getting high, still doing everything I'm still not supposed to do, but I started working in the oil field in 2008, and that was kind of my safe place. You know, I could go to work and not have to worry about all the worries of home, and then I started drinking a lot. And on 7 days off, I would have the kids, but I was drunk the whole time or partying, and so I never really created a good atmosphere for them when I was young either. My wife and I, we started talking in November of 2014, and we got married in March of 2015. I was still drinking a lot and doing drugs, and then it all came to a head in 2020. I was coming down off of meth, and she was actually trying to help me, and that's whenever I choked her. And I just, in my mind, you know, when you're on meth, you don't think clearly, and when you're coming down, it's even worse, and you're agitated, and you don't want to hear anything, or, you know, it was just a real abusive situation on my part. And she did, you know, the right thing by taking the kids. And I remember that day I was cussing God. I was like, how could you let me do this to her and to myself? And I just broke down, and God spoke to me. He told me, he's like, you're just being out of control. I'm going to sit you down for a little while. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen in the future, but I knew that God had a plan for me after that. I remember very vividly, probably a month before I got out, that I was praying that I wanted to go home to my family and that I was ready. And later that evening, he spoke to me again, and he told me, I'm gonna give you one more chance. So one of my conditions of getting out was I had to be in a sober living house for 6 months. And there was some guy, and just so happened that weekend, a preacher came from the Bridge Church in Mustang and handed out flyers for the Dream Center. My favorite verse in the Bible is Jeremiah 29:11. It says, I have plans for you, and they're to prosper you and not to hurt you. And for me, it just really hit me hard, that knowing that God cared enough for me before I was born. He knew all this was going to happen, but it was all part of a plan for me, you know, to maybe be an example for somebody else. Somebody else can look at what I've done and things I've done and hear my story and make a better life for themselves. That's why I love Josh so much. I don't know if anybody ever feels the same way I do, but if Josh had never helped anybody, I'm the one person he's always helped, you know?
I love being here. Wouldn't have no other way. Been here 7 years, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna read a little bit. I just opened this a while ago. I was like, what should I read? I opened it up, and it was John 17. It's when Jesus is praying for his disciples and then praying for future believers. So I'm gonna read it real quick. I have revealed you to those whom you have given me out of the world. They were yours, you gave them to me, and they have obeyed. I've been to places a lot of these guys have been down that road, been through a lot of the trauma and the things these guys have been through. At first, it hurts my heart seeing guys come in, but I mean, immediately after, you know, how can I forget where I'm at today? You know what I mean? How can I forget where God has brought me? That I called out to God and He answered me. So that's how I came to be in Oklahoma City 7 years ago. Teen Challenge was at Inner City Church in Oklahoma City Dream Center, and it's a year-long faith-based rehab. It's a discipleship program. I got there, and I knew after about 6 or 7 months in that program, I knew God did not want me going back home. I mean, here I am today, so I know for a fact good things come for those guys. From that moment forward, it's all good things. God's going to bless these guys. You know, He's going to do things in these guys' lives because I'm proof of that, you know. I'm a walking testimony.
The first time I met him, and we just had a little, I mean, it was a brief 2 or 3 minute one-on-one talk, and he just He just looked me right in my eyes. He shook my hand. He's like, I'm not here to hurt you. He's like, I'm here to love you. It really changed my perspective on a lot of things. At that moment on, I started taking it seriously, getting better seriously, sobriety seriously, being a godly and steadfast person for my kids and my wife, you know.
We have a list of rules that I go over with them, and they're supposed to initial each one. And I think it's the third to last rule, and I tell every one of them every time, this is the most important rule. It says, be accountable and communicate with fellow staff and residents. Accountability eliminates the need for excuses. That's the most important one. I'm here. Every guy in the room next to you is here. We're here for each other. I've been that. I've been there. I've walked that path. I've been that guy, and then some. I'm in this program because I love these guys, and I want to see these guys restored and their relationship just flourishing with God and with everybody else. The amount of men that could be changed, like with the building, it's going to be bigger. There's going to be more rooms. There's more relationships, more camaraderie. There's going to be more memories. And my prayer and my hope and excitement is that instead of just 5 men being changed and growing closer to God and having their lives restored, there's going to be 20 to 25 guys. I know for a fact there's a lot of them out there. And having a bigger facility in, the near future, bring them in. I had hoped, my number one hope for Charlie when I met him, and I knew without a shadow of doubt when I met him that his relationship with God would grow and get intimate and flourish. That and the relationship with his family. I hope that I pray, and I still to this day pray that God restores everything that had happened to him and everything the enemy had stolen from him. I pray it's restored, tenfold. And I look at him now, and his relationship now. I've met his wife, I've met his kids, and he's so blessed. He's doing so well. God is doing a work in his life and in his family.
And it's been hard to show them that I've changed, but I'm still showing them every day. I still try to every day, and I can understand it's hard for them to accept me, but I'm still gonna keep trying. There's greatness in all men, and I think a lot of them were like, feel the way I did. They were scared to show it, scared to be vulnerable, and scared to be caring, and scared to say I love you to another man, and I feel like I've learned that it starts with yourself. You have to learn to love yourself before you're capable of loving anybody else. And it was a hard lesson for me to learn, but I learned it. And I want other men to know that your present self doesn't have to be defined by who you were.
Let's give a big round of applause for Charlie tonight for being here. Charlie, the things that you have overcome and that you continue to overcome are an inspiration to so many that you don't even understand today. And I think that you'll continue to see that and have that realization in the future. And we thank you for being here, and we thank you for sharing your story on everything. And that's what I want to talk about for just a second, because we've had an opportunity for everybody to get something tonight. But obviously, every single one of us is here because we believe in the mission, the vision, and the dream of the Oklahoma City Dream Center. One of my favorite quotes is by the late Winston Churchill. He says that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And I know that that is what the hope and the desire is of every single person in this room tonight. So I don't want to walk out of this space until we make sure that we give the opportunity for everybody in this room to share themselves with the Oklahoma City Dream Center and to see lives continue to change just like Charlie's. Can we get a big round of applause for that tonight? So this is no longer an auction. This is not a spot where we don't know where we're going to start and where we're going to finish. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to start at $2,500. I'm going to ask for a donation value of $2,500. We'll move on from that to $1,000, to $500, to $250, and to $100. And what I would ask of every single person in this room is to consider one of those values that is in some way meaningful to you, so that we can touch the people of Oklahoma City, so that we can touch lives that are ready to be touched, and so that we can see change happen in Oklahoma City. So I'm going to start right now. Who would be the first hand up at a $2,500 donation value right now? $2,500 tonight. Anybody would give $2,500 to go to the Dream Center? Anybody at all? Right there? Right over here. What's your number, sir? 81? Bidder number 81 at $2,500. Let's give them a big round of applause right now. Anybody else at $2,500? Let's not let it go with that. Anybody else at $2,500 this evening? Anybody at all? Okay, we're going to move to our next donation value. Who would be willing to give a $1,000 gift tonight? $1,000. Right over there, Randy, what's his number? Give him a big round of applause. What's that number tonight? I got one right here too, sir. Thank you. I'm going to get with you next. Randy, that number is 98, and I've got number 77 at $1,000. Who else at a $1,000 gift this evening? Right here. Mark, what's your number? 45. Thank you so very much. A good friend of mine. Thank you very much, Mark, at your $1,000 donation. Anybody else at $1,000 this evening? $1,000 gift. Right here. Hold on, Randy. Right here. What's your number, sir? 83 at $1,000. And we've got bidder number 100 at $1,000. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our $1,000 donors. Anybody else at a $1,000 gift? Anybody else? We don't want to miss out. Right here, sir. What's your number? Bidder number 5. Bidder number 5 at $1,000. Thank you so much. You were bidding on so many of the items this evening, and I don't think you got any of them, so thank you for your gift tonight. Bidder number 5. We appreciate you. Anybody else at $1,000 before we move on?
Barrett?
Yes.
I have, through my journey from starting and leaving everything I knew to walk out on this, I have learned that to be called into leadership is to be called into bleedership. And that's leading in pain, that's leading in sacrifice, and just like Tommie said earlier, when no one sees it, when no one sees that you have to basically put out and carry the load yourself in times when not necessarily when people won't, but maybe when people can't. Mm-hmm. But the Lord has blessed my life because I've followed him and led in generosity. And that doesn't leave this night in anything different. And so tonight I'm personally going to match up to $10,000.
I think that deserves a clap. You're going to personally, Chase, you're going to personally match up to $10,000 in a gift this evening.
Yep.
Come here, right here. Guys, let's see. Do we have any in hearing that? Guys, and I'm going to tell you, again, I've known this guy for 20 years. That is not a joke. That is not in any way outside of anything other than a promise that a $10,000 match is going to be given to the Dream Center. Thank you, Chase, for what you're doing for Oklahoma City. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your ministry and everything that's moving forward on things. I'm proud to call you my friend, but I'm honored to know that you are leading the charge in Oklahoma City and everything that we're doing. Before I move on, I'm going to ask if anybody else wants to give a $1,000 donation right now, knowing that we have a $10,000 match right over there at $1,000. What's your number, sir? 53 is going to give $1,000. Anybody else at $1,000 tonight? Right now, knowing that we have a $10,000 match. Anybody else at $1,000? Anybody at all? 3, 2, 1. Let's give all of our $1,000 donors a big round of applause. We appreciate all of you. We're going to move on. Let's see how much of a difference we can make. Who would give a $5,000 or $5,000? Please. Who would give a $500 gift this evening? Charlie, thank you so very much. What's your number tonight, bud? Number 7 at $500. Let's give Charlie a big round of applause. Who else at $500 tonight? Seeing lives changed, $500. Guys, we want to make sure that we get that total amount going on. Randy, you're right over there. That number is? Josh. We're going to put it on number Josh right over there at $500. Who else at a $500? What's your number, sir? 91 at $500. I saw a number here. 69 at $500. Thank you, sir. Sir, what's your number? What is it? 60. Number 60 at $500. Guys, let's give all of them a big round of applause. Who else at $500? Anybody else at a $500 match this evening? Right over there. What's your number? What is it? 49 at $500. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Give him a big round of applause. Anybody else at $500 before we move on? $500. Guys, let's give all of our $500 donors a big round of applause. We're going to move on. We've just got a couple other denominations moving forward. Who would give a $250 gift this evening? $250. Anybody right there? What's your number, ma'am? What is it? 79 at $250. And I got right here number 17. We got 79 and 17. And right here is number 14. 14 at $250. Give them all a big round of applause. Who else would give a $250 gift this evening? I got you right here, sir. What's your number? 29. And right back there, ma'am? 51. 51 at $250. Randy? 104 at $250. Guys, let's keep them clapping. Let's see what we can turn it into. Let's keep it moving it on tonight. Who else would give a $250 gift? Anybody at all? Right here, sir. What's your number? 33. Number 23. We'll put you at 23. Maybe 33 we'll give as well. We'll see if we can put it on them. We'll see what turns it into. 23 right there at $250. Anybody else right there, ma'am? Yes. 84 at $250. Thank you so very much for your generous gift. Anybody else at a $250 gift this evening? Guys, let's give all of our $250 donors an applause. We're moving on to our very, very last gift denomination right now. $100 gift, the same cost as a single cup of Starbucks coffee or 1 gallon of gasoline. Guys, seriously, I mean, $100, and when you're taking it into account with everything, $100 can seem like a lot, and realistically, it can just as easily seem like so little. But how much can that $100 go towards something that's going to make a change in people's lives? If you're willing to give a $100 gift this evening, please raise your hand up with pride tonight. Who would give a $100 donation right here? Number 118 right behind you, Randy, is number 107 at $100. Yes, ma'am. 108 at $100. Guys, let's keep them clapping. Let's see what we can turn it into. I would love to see us have lots of hands in the air tonight at $100. Anybody else with a $100 gift tonight? Anybody at all? Randy, all the way back there? Bidder number 1. You were here early, weren't you? Bidder number 1 in at $100. Anybody else at a $100 gift tonight? Yes, ma'am. Number 16, thank you so much for your gift and for your commitment to changing lives in Oklahoma City. We appreciate you. Anybody else at $100? Right there, yes, sir. Number 31, thank you so very much. Number 31 at $100. Anybody else this evening? 3, right all the way at the back. Number Brad. Number Brad, thank you, sir, Mr. Brad. Number Brad, we appreciate you. Anybody else? 3, right here, yes, ma'am. 21. Number 21 at $100. Guys, let's give everybody a big round of applause. Anybody else at $100? Anybody at all? Thank you so much. Not just for your gifts, not just for the money that you're willing to pour into the Dream Center, but more importantly for your time and for the heart that you have for being here tonight. This is a nonprofit. This is a group that means so very much to me. And I know that every single one of you is here because it means so very much to you as well. Please continue to follow the Oklahoma City Dream Center. Consider a monthly donation if you weren't able to give tonight or even if you were. And thank you for allowing us the opportunity to build forward to see lives changed in Oklahoma City. Chase, thank you for your gift. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you so much for what we continue to see happening. Charlie, let's give Charlie a big round of applause one more time before we finish up. Again, I'm Barrett Bray. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Guys, Chase, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you guys so much. While they're finishing getting all of the live ask tallied up and everything and into the computer ready to for checkout, I want to show you guys that Toby Keith combination of Marvin Sapp. Talent, literal talent that makes me want to get my saxophone out and bust it out with him. But would you just watch the official music video of Tommie's story and song titled Deflated?
I'm great at that. I can get now that money. When I stood over my wife and I couldn't save her at 28, and that monitor where she was breathing through, and I had calculated all the money I had, and I looked at her, and it couldn't save it, all the value of that dollar said, it ain't, I really know what value is.
I was flying high on an airplane. Then I got a call that changed it all at the baggage claim. Said she passed away and my heart just cracked. All the money in the world couldn't bring her back. Every breath in my chest just lived like that. I was deflated, empty and naked. I had to learn to stand down on my knees. Suffocating, didn't think I'd make it. But in order for God to breathe life back into me, be right side I couldn't see, like my soul had a hope. Why ain't me? I was deflated, self-medicated. I had to learn to stand down on my knees, suffocating, didn't think I'd make it, but in order for God to breathe life back into me, I had to be deflated, deflated. I was deflated, but I'm thankful I made it. It takes a man to stand down on his knees. Life's complicated, I can't be jaded. In order for God to bring life back into me, I had to be deflated, deflated. It takes a man to stand down on his knees. Life's complicated, thank God I made it. Thank God I made it. Thankful, thankful, grateful I made it. Oh, grateful I made it. Thank God I made it. Grateful I made it. Thank God I made it. Grateful I made it. Oh, grateful I made it.
Was I wrong? Oh my gosh. And that's just one of two. Grand Canyon is just as good. So I mean, do yourself a favor, and wherever music is sold, go get that song along with the book, and I mean, jam that sucker out. That was good. Tommie, would you come back up here, and we've got a chance for Q&A. If anybody has any Tommie, any question, but keep it PG. No, I'm just. Also, we have the lady. It was that won the 50-50. Where are you at? Right there. So the total. Not to put any pressure on you. We're so glad to announce the total was $1170. That you can take half of that goes to you, or you can donate it all. You just think about it. But anyways, so who has a question while I'm waiting for my staff to tell me they're ready to basically close out everybody. Who has a question for Tommie Harris? Anything. Like what your favorite guy that you busted was?
In college or the pro?
Let's go to college.
Chris Sims.
Come on. Why was that your favorite?
He was a spoiled brat. I enjoy it, and we were friends too.
Okay. So gotcha.
I've always wondered what it's like to go from the college level to the professional level, like just in terms of just intensity and how much you had to. Were you already ready for that level of performance, or did it take you a period of time to acclimate?
No.
You didn't take the elevator.
Yeah, I didn't take the elevator. I didn't take any shortcuts. The pros was easier than college. Yeah, the pros was pretty much like WWE. You already knew which guys were gonna get their numbers. Your job in the pros when you go first round is not to mess up. They pick you first round for a reason. So the guys that usually are first rounders are usually like the new wrestlers coming in WWE. These guys are gonna be good. In college, it's everyone trying to be these WWE guys. So college is way harder than the pros. I already coach, but I'm not coaching I coach kids, so I don't really like coaching on the level. In BV, I will never join the staff. I'll just help out, but I can't really work in that arena anymore like that. I just love being around the kids, helping the kids. I don't like being told what to do. Any more? There's been many times when I lost my wife, I had a window where it was doubt, and that's the human thing to do, because I would be lying if I told you no. Yeah, I doubted and was scared and afraid and didn't know, but he came as a comforter, and it takes a while for things to heal or for even to come out of the trauma, the traumatic event, to even get to a place to start rebuilding a relationship where God comes through. I believe God loves an honest child. So whether you're mad or not, he don't want you faking with him. Tell him how unhappy you are. Tell him, get it off your chest, and God's going to begin to redo a work in you. So, yeah.
I always like the answer. Even Craig Rochelle actually gave it, I think, a couple sermons back. But doubt isn't the absence of faith. It's God's opportunity and life's opportunity for you to walk through and take on faith and push through to the other side. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Yes.
Yes, I do have a question. So if you know someone that has lost someone, how do you support them? Like, how did you like getting support from others?
I would say look at yourself as a kickstand. Be quiet and let them lean on you. And another thing that a guy told me is the first thing I heard when I pulled the cord, I had a guy come in, and he really saved my life and got my mind on track for what I was about to go through. But he said, it sucks to be you right now. But he said, God knows what he's doing, and I don't want you to forget that. So take advantage of this opportunity to get what you can get, because God is trying to teach you something. So I never kept that in the back of my mind. When people are going through trauma events, it's not to say, well, you'll get over it, or it sucks to be you. This is tough. I wouldn't want this either. I get it, but we gotta find it. I'll be with you through each step, but we're gonna work on not quitting, and that's what it's about. Being with them through whatever they need, just being there with them. Did you know about the OU Texas? You don't want to do that? No.
What are your thoughts on
Who? Who? We don't even say that name here anymore. Yeah, I'm just sad what he did to the program, but I wish him well. That's it.
Let's go ahead and do that. This is kind of off the beaten path. Yeah, go ahead and tell him. So Tommie, in his generosity, he's going to offer one more item to bid, and we, in the midst of all the excitement and everything, we forgot. But and Phil, you don't leave. Don't go to the bathroom on this one. Oh, okay. Tell us about what we're going to auction off last.
Okay, so I go around speaking all throughout the year, and when I go to different events like this, I got 2 more. I already have one group that's coming with me from another foundation, but I always raffle off 4 groups of 2 pairs. For OU Texas Week, I take and we have a blast, I'm telling you. Sometimes Adrian Peterson come by, Larry Fitzgerald, my friends that just come down for the year, but I take you out to Chamberlain's on Friday, the night before. That's OU people too. And take you out to Chamberlain's, and then you take 2 people to the game to OU Texas Week with me. And that's the ticket. And we're gonna have a blast. So all the money goes back to the Dream Center. So that's what I wanna do for the Dream Center.
So that's two tickets to OU Texas. Good seats. Right there where you can smell the sweaty pads. So you can laugh at me if you want, but I've always wanted to do this. Because I was raised in Fairview, Oklahoma, and we had auctions. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start at. Would anybody start at $500 to get? Okay, see, man, I'm great. Tell Barrett to call me. Okay, so we got 500 here, 500 here, 500 here, 500 here. Now we're getting 525. Can I 525? Can I? Oh, we got 525 here, 525, 525. We got 550, 550, 5, 6. We got 6 now, 600, 650, 7. We're going hundreds. We're going now. My staff just came in going, what in the world? So we got 7. 700 now, 700 now, 700 now, 800. 8. All right, we got 800 now, 800 now, 800 now, 800 now. We got 900 now. We got 1,000. We got 1,000 right there. Now 1,100 going over here. Oh, 1,200 now we got down to 1,200. We're going 1,300. Anybody on? You're all out at 1,300. Anybody can jump in at 1,300? See, I am good. Oh, no, you can't do that. You got to keep on going. You got a 1,300, 1,400, 1,300 now, 1,300. Anybody want to go 14? 1,400 right here, right now. Oh, Philip, I love you. All right, we got now 1,400 now. We got 1,400 now. We got 1,500. 1,500 right here. 1,500 now. We got to go on 1,600. 17. Talk to her first. Okay, we're at 17. Do I have 18? Did you just raise your hand? Raise that with boldness. We got 18 now, 19 now, 19, going down 19. Now we got 20, 2,000. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. 2,000, we got 2,000, 2K right there, going for 2K. Can I go to 2K1? 2K1. I can go to 2K1. Let's go to 2K5. $2K3? 2K5? 2K5. We're going now for 2K5. We're going to 2K6. 2K6. Man, it takes a lot of water, Barrett. 2K6, 2006. Now we're going to 2,700, now 2,700. Go ahead and finish that water. 2,700. 2,700, we got 28, going 29. 29 going to 3. 3 going to 31. Do you guys just want to fight it out in the parking lot? What did I end on? 3,000.
I do both.
If you guys will both do 3,000, let me put my Barrett voice on. Buddy, you call me when you need an extra. If you two will match 3,000 each, Tommie will take both of you. You'll take it? All righty. Sold! Give them a round of applause. The lovely gentleman in the glasses and the white pants and shirt and black jacket. What's your bidder number? 83. And that is for the Tommie Harris OU Texas event. I know, you're number 1. I can be your number 2. All right, and what, sir, what's your bidder number? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's what his bidder number is. Okay, gotcha. Again, everybody, this is literally the best night we've ever had. Not because I was the best auctioneer ever, but it's because of each and every one of you believing in what we do. And I want to turn your attention before I release you, everybody. So out those doors is Tommie Harris's book and T-shirts, and he's ready to take cards. Whatever. Bitcoin, oil rights, anything. He'll take it all. Firstborns, anything. No, I'm just. Anyways, so he'll take anything. His books. Please go out there and show support. It's a crazy good book. One of the best ones I've read all year, and I've read 25 so far this year. So it's one of the best ones I've read this year. And then he's got complimentary T-shirts. Not complimentary, you have to pay for them, but like they compliment the book. Because though you look cool at school while you're carrying the book and reading the book. So he's out that way, right out here where Melissa's standing right there. You can go right out the way you came and close out. If you close out and you still want a book, you can literally keep walking and you'll walk right back into where Tommie's books and T-shirts are. At the tables, if you've noticed those green little bags, we've got several different events that are coming up, starting with our golf tournament at Oak Tree. Do I have any golfers in the house? So we have our golfing tournament at Oak Tree on August 1st. All the information's in that bag. And along with, has anybody ever ran a 5K? We are one of the beneficiaries and are looking to sign up runners for the Dream Center team for the Red Day run. That information is also in that bag. So please take that bag home. And then also, if you would like to become a Dream MVP by becoming a monthly supporter, there's a QR code in that bag that it'll take you right there, and you can become a Dream MVP tonight or tomorrow, whatever you choose, and keep supporting lives being changed. And so, once again, thank you so much. And you guys are now free to move about and change lives. Thank you very much.